Good evening, Taverners. How are we all doing? Good evening, good afternoon. Jumped the gun there. Good afternoon, Taverners. How are we all doing? My name is Key. We are live for Liverpool versus Monaco this afternoon at Anfield. Jay Spearing, Jason McAteer giving the pre-match thoughts, probably on Virgil van Dijk being back in the lineup. Wataru Endo back on the bench after a long spell out through injury. Did his knee, didn't he, that cost him the World Cup. Bitterly disappointing, but really good to have an actual holding midfielder on the bench again for Liverpool. And Curtis Jones left out entirely of the squad. That feels like there might be a breakthrough. There might be a breakthrough with negotiations with Inter Milan if Curtis Jones has been left out of the squad entirely. Fingers crossed, 'cause I think it is the right time for him to go. Victor Munoz is also on the bench today. So hopefully we'll see Victor Munoz at some point in the second half. He's on the bench, as is Rio. And I do imagine those two, when they come on, Naoni as well, I imagine we'll see maybe a little bit of an understanding as to why Liverpool haven't gone super duper strong in the transfer market on wingers, because I think these two are absolutely brilliant. I really do. NFF Collie, what do you think about Ousmane Diamand to Forest, mate? Yeah, Forest stacked with top quality centre-backs now, aren't they? Murillo and Diamand, Jesus Christ. Could be a push for Europe next year for Forest again. Very good signing. Looking forward to seeing how Forest adapt this season to no European football, which maybe was a little bit of a hindrance to them last season in many ways. How are we all doing in the chat? Good to see everyone. George, 3-star, great to see you, mate. I picked up a nice 359 win last night on the Irish lottery. Oh, good lad. Love that. Nice work, mate. That's brilliant. Dara O'Neill, good to see you. Sarah, Catherine. Who else have we got in today? I don't know why I keep thinking. I've lost my head. I keep saying tonight. Matty, good to see you, mate. Come on the Reds. No Jones in the squad. Apparently just a precaution. Yeah, a precaution. I don't think any of us believe that, do we? None of us really believe that. He's definitely been left out because something's progressing with Inter Milan. Good to see you, North. Phil, how's it going, lad? Who else have we got? Liverpool under-21s drew 2-2 with Huddersfield. Kimmy Fitzpatrick. Or Kim Fitzpatrick, sorry. How's it going, Kim? What's your prediction? My prediction for this one, I think Liverpool win quite comfortably. I think 3-0. Maybe 3-1. We might give Monaco a goal. At a push. Pete, hurry up and get them by. Anyone who scores against United is good enough for me. Yes! We like him by already. We like him already. How's it going, Wazza? Ethan, Ben, how's it going? Sam, Liverpool should have sold Van Dijk to AC Milan. No chance. No chance at all. Yo, Braden, how's it going? Joe, good start to the Eisler reign yesterday. Over the moon with it. All the 4 new signings. Bamba, Stur, Hornacek and Torre look class, and Wissa with a brace. Yeah, and Gaia with the red card for Valencia as well. Destroyed Elanga. Absolutely shocking tackle, that, wasn't it? But yeah, let's go through the lineups because they are on the screen right now. You can see them, but I'll go through the benches as well, obviously. I think on the screen is just the... Am I right in saying it's just the... I think it's the entire squad, isn't it? Monaco's squad. They haven't confirmed it. Yeah, they haven't confirmed Monaco's squad yet. But we know Liverpool, so Liverpool have gone with Alisson in goal. He's back in, that's amazing. Jeremy Frimpong at right back. Van Dijk comes back in. Ifeanyi Ndukwe, who's been phenomenal in pre-season, he starts. Kostas Tsimikas on the left. Ryan Gravenberch, Dominic Szoboszlai in that double pivot in front of the defence. Not entirely sure about that, if I'm dead honest. Florian Wirtz in the 10. Cody Gakpo could be making his final ever Liverpool appearance. If rumours are to be believed that he's going to Tottenham Hotspur, it could well be that Cody Gakpo's going to Spurs and this might be his last game. So I hope Liverpool fans do give him a good send-off because he's been a top player for us. I really don't want him to go personally, but I guess if we're going to bring in Barcola and Mbai, it maybe makes sense. But I don't know. I'd rather have Barcola and Gakpo rather than Barcola and Mbai. Kim, Key, you're one of the best streamers I know. Keep it up. Oh, Kim, you're a sweetheart. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. Thank you, Northville. Appreciate it. Yeah, very close. Very, very close now. Braden, who's the best player that played for Liverpool? I mean, in my opinion, it'll always be Robbie Fowler. But actually, it's probably Steven Gerrard. In my lifetime, anyway, I would say it's Gerrard, then Suarez, then Van Dijk, then Alisson. That would be my top four, probably. In terms of, like, world class, could be the best, the very best in the world, I would say it would be Gerrard number one, then it would be Suarez, then it would be Van Dijk. Then it would probably, maybe, be Alisson Becker. Davy Allen, Cody Gakpo, top player for us. You having a laugh? He's been shocking. Mate, any winger who scores 21 goals plus 21 goal contributions a season, you can't say he's shocking. If you're seriously telling me that Cody Gakpo, 20-odd goal contributions a season from out wide, and he's always fit, he's never ever injured, 50-plus appearances, you want to sell that, you're mad. You're absolutely mad. Cody Gakpo's a really, really important player for Liverpool. I'm not saying he should start, but he's a very, very important player. How do Liverpool fans still dislike Gakpo? I mean, listen, you know me, I'm each to their own. Everyone can have an opinion. But I genuinely think we've got some terrible, terrible fans at the minute. Like, Liverpool, like, it almost makes me wish for the days of Liverpool being back in, like, the Europa League and the you know, even the conference, just to get rid of some of these perennial, like, just terminal fans we've got who are just nonsense online. Christ. I thought we'd lose a load of them when Mo Salah left. But it's just nonsense. Just nonsense. They don't support the club. They support particular players at the club. And they do nothing else but run the team down. Can't be arsed with it. Yo, Key, what's your opinion on Araujo? Like him. Yeah, really like him. Really, really like him. I think he'll do well for Liverpool. He'll do well in the Premier League. I like him. Gakpo isn't elite. We're meant to be an elite club. Went from Mane, Diaz to Gakpo, and it's a drop-off. Yeah, but Mane and Diaz were starters. Cody Gakpo is not a starter for Liverpool. He was never really meant to be a starter for Liverpool. You know, Cody Gakpo is a player that was brought in to kind of play across the front line because he's a functional player who he can play across, he can play left, he can play right, he can play 10, he can play through the middle. He's just someone who does a job wherever you sort of put him, and he's always fit. He's always fit and available. So I don't know, I don't get why there's such a big thing with Cody Gakpo. If you've got Barcola and Gakpo on the left, that's a cracking... I mean, listen, you're telling me like we're meant to be an elite club. Arsenal have just won the Premier League and got to the Champions League final with Trossard and Martinelli on the left and Madueke on the right. You're not telling me that they're not better. None of them are better than Cody Gakpo. Madueke, Trossard, Martinelli are not better than Gakpo. I don't care what you're saying. And be honest, Saka wasn't better than Gakpo last season. Or, well, Gakpo at his peak anyway. I bet Gakpo knows a cracking Al Sanctuary. But he was last season, he proved he didn't have it, and as it stands, he's our senior left winger. Yeah, but why would you want him moved on for that? I don't get why you'd want him moved on for that. Individually, you may have an argument, but they suit their system better than Gakpo does ours. But we don't have a system. We don't have a system. The last season was the absence of a system. We didn't have one because we had to kind of work with what we had. Oh, they're just showing the Saviola handball from last time we played Monaco. Remember that one? Yeah, Gakpo for me is an absolutely reliable player. But we will have a system now. Do we? There's no evidence to suggest that we do. And to be honest, I don't think there's any evidence to suggest that Gakpo can't play in it. At least no more than there is that, you know, Wirtz can't play in it or Ekatiki can't play in it. Nobody's saying get rid of them. Gakpo's got 3 years now of 20 plus goal contributions every single season, and he's always available. We can't throw that away in an attack that we don't have any reliably fit and available players. It's mental. Watership Allen, we had to work with what we had. It's sort of why I wasn't strictly slot out. Yeah, I mean, that I wasn't slot out at all, famously. Brendan, need another option other than Gakpo rather than a Gakpo replacement. I agree, yes, that's where I am with it as well. That's exactly where I am as well. Mr. Harding Iraola has spoken of a style of play from day dot, the opposite of Slot. No, Slot had a fabulous style of play in season 1, and we had to change it in season 2 because the club basically sold a lot of his best players from under his feet and didn't replace him. How's it going, Adam? Good to see you, man. No hands. Can you show us the match live video, please? Yeah, mate, no worries. What LFC TV have said is they're absolutely fine charging everyone else to watch the game. I've paid for it as well. Everyone's fine to pay for it. But they've said, basically what we're going to do is we're going to charge everyone else, but you're okay to watch it for free. No problem at all. Yeah, they've said that I'll just broadcast it for free to you. They've said they'll be fine with that. So yeah, no worries, mate. Stick around at kickoff. I'll just put it on for you. No probs. Joe says, Højbjerg to Newcastle been crying out for experience in midfield with the signings of Sturt and Bamba, but I hope we get another midfielder as one won't replace Bruno. What about Højbjerg? Lots of noise about Højbjerg to Newcastle recently, Joe. What are you thinking about him? Yeah, but in season 1 he just said he was going to tweak what Klopp did. We never actually knew his style. Well, if you watched us, you knew his style. His style was very different to Klopp. The overlap did full segments on Slot style in season 1. He was brilliant. He was fantastic, and I don't think any other manager could have done that. Watership Allen, Slot had a great style of play. He didn't have the right profiles. In hindsight, Nioni playing more may have been that between the lines passing metronome. I think it was defence that was a big problem for him. I agree with you, Nioni maybe should have and could have played more, but in many ways I think he was protecting him and holding him back the same way with Rio. Like, you can't really be throwing kids into seasons like that. Nah, his style started creeping in after January, and that's where the dip-off started. Well, everybody else who watched us last season, mate, disagrees with you. Everybody else. His style was in from day dot. There was massive segments on the overlap in the first couple of weeks. Liverpool were playing completely differently to how Jurgen Klopp played. Very, very differently. Gary Neville was falling over himself to say how well Arne Slot was doing in terms of changing style. Saying Nioni shouldn't play more. No, and that's what I'm saying. I don't think he should have played more. I don't think he should have played more because he was holding him back. At the end of the day, you can't throw kids into a season like this. And the season's that bad. You can't throw kids in. It's not fair. You just said he should have. No, I was replying to a commenter who said he should have. He should have, yeah. But if he'd have played him maybe a bit more, that might have given silly fans who were just after, chest beating. That's all they wanted, really. I think, honestly, Arne Slot would still be in a job if he'd just if he'd have given a bit of that more, if he'd have clapped the fans and done that and pounded his chest. I think he'd still be in a job now. He'd still be in a job. Geordie breaks. There's no way Isak will be able to play consistently for you in Iraola's style. Body can't hold up. I don't buy the whole Alexander Isak being injury prone thing. I don't think there's any evidence for it. Alexander Isak was very, very consistent for 4 or 5 years before he came to Liverpool. 40 odd games a season. I don't think you can play 40 odd games a season for 4 or 5 years and really, really not be consistently available. And I don't know how you can say that's an injury prone player. Geordie Breaks, he struggled at Newcastle the whole time. Wilson came in a lot for him. He was available. He was available, though. He played 40. If you make 40-odd appearances for Newcastle as well, a team who don't go very far often in lots and lots of competitions. If Newcastle are playing... How many games a season have Newcastle typically played? It's usually less than 50, isn't it? If you're playing 40 appearances, 4 out of your last 5 seasons before you come to Liverpool, that's not an injury-prone player. Not in my book, anyway. Not in my book. Adam, that Ndukwe is a big lad. Hope he comes good as an extra centre-back alongside Leone and Jackie. Well, he's going to have to go out next year, isn't he? He can't play next year for us. Yeah, he can't play for us next year. He's going to have to go out on loan somewhere else. So, it remains to be seen whether or not he actually gets the opportunity to come back, I guess. Yes, mate. Yeah, Jimmy, it is. It's work permit. Yeah, work permit. George, we're now left in a position where we were at the back end of 24-25. How do we create the finishing edge? For Arsenal, you mean? Big question. Looking forward to seeing Mika Biereth and Matash Abline up front as well. 2 very, very talented players. Mika Biereth is ex-Arsenal, actually, isn't he? Mika Biereth, I think, could be a Premier League player maybe in a year or 2. You certainly want to watch. And Duckway looked class. Rarely see a centre-back come in at that age and then jump up and look so comfortable. I mean, the big test is going to be competitive football, obviously. We've had lots of young players, haven't we, over the years who've come in, done well in pre-season and then never quite stepped up. I remember players like Christian Nemeth and things like that. Do you remember Nemeth? Oh, Adam, you sweetheart. What a guy. Appreciate that, mate. Thank you very much. Top guy, Adam. What a fella. Yeah, lots and lots of players, haven't they, over the years, I feel like in youth, in pre-season, youth players who've come in and done really well and then never quite kicked on, unfortunately. Emiliano Insua, to be honest, I think was one who I remember people saying, this guy's going to be our left back for years and years and years. Mark says, Key, I watch all the Liverpool fans podcast and they were complaining that Slot played boring football. They were bored. Yeah, but you're going to be bored, aren't you? You're going to be bored. I don't think Slot played boring football. I think we didn't have players to play entertaining football. Did anyone play? Did anyone play entertaining football last season? I don't think there was anyone who played entertaining football last season. That was kind of the order of the day in the Premier League. It was all very, very set piece driven. Last season was kind of the year of the set piece, wasn't it? If you think of like the Chinese year of the rat, the year of the set piece. That's what it was. Yeah, Christian Nemeth. I was convinced he was going to be a world beater. And Laurie Delaval, yeah. Alex Kaciniklic as well. He actually went on and had a decent career, didn't he, Kaciniklic? But yeah, Laurie Delaval was another one. Rob says Neil Mellor then. Next best thing, not. Hey, Neil Mellor got a late winner against Arsenal. He scored against Olympiacos. He had some big moments for Liverpool, Neil Mellor, in 2004-05. Joe says, really happy with the Højbjerg signing, Key. 600 plus appearances. Crying out for some experience with our young midfield. Don't get the meltdown about him. He has serious leadership. I agree. I think that's a good signing. Smart signing for Newcastle, that. You're right, Key. I'm good, mate. How are you? How are you? Daz Key, what's your prediction for this game? Also, do you think we see Munoz today? Yes, we 100% will see Munoz. I'm sure we'll see most of the players off the bench. Probably Mamadashvili will come on at half-time. Liverpool are in already down the right-hand side. He's offside anyway. Just had a look. Isak had injuries about a quarter of his time at us. Yeah, but still, the point stands. If you're playing 40 games a season, mate, you're available. 40 games a season at Newcastle. I'd say that's... Yeah, I don't think you can categorise that as an injury-prone player. however you want to dress it up. Monaco, driving forward, good ball in. Beereth, good save from Alisson behind for a corner kick. Do you think the Barcola deal goes through? Yeah, almost certainly. Barcelona very close to selling Ferran Torres to PSG. So that's going to be Ferran Torres, Akliouche and Mika Gertz from Ajax. Mika Gertz has been left out of the Ajax lineup for their friendly today. He did play in midweek against Shelbourne in Europe. Wow, Alisson Becker's looking stunning there, by the way. And I'm a happily married man. But anyway, yeah. I digress. Yeah. What was I saying? Alisson Becker, stunning. Yeah, Mika Gertz from Ajax, I think, is almost certainly... Oh, what a ball that is. Go on, Frimpong. Go on, lad. Oh, go on. Oh, Liverpool pressed really well there. Good football. And we're still in there. Go on. Here's Isak. Go on, fella. In the area. Oh, lucky. Better from Liverpool, that. Much faster. Love that. No married man is ever truly happily married. This comes off. This comes off for Alisson Becker. Ben, score prediction key. For me, I think 3-1. I'm going to say 3-1. Geordie breaks. Who's back up though till Ekatike gets back? Is it Gakpo? Yeah, it is. It is Gakpo. If we get Gakpo, if Gakpo stays, then yeah, he will be kind of auxiliary centre forward, and that's why I don't want to sell him. It makes sense, I think, to keep Cody Gakpo. I don't want to sell him. He's for a front line. When you consider that we've got Chiesa always injured. Hopefully he goes, but he's always injured. Ekatike looks like he's going to be out till maybe November. Alexander Isak, I've just had the argument with you that I don't think he's injury prone. He had a big injury last season in terms of breaking his leg. He's off the back of that. He's going to have a full pre-season under his belt. I think he'll be okay this season, but still, you would look at his last season and go, can't put all your eggs in that basket. So it would be silly, wouldn't it? Yeah, to just have Isak and Ekatike as our only front two options. We probably do need a centre forward, and that's why Gakpo can cover there. Oh, great play by Isak, wonderful play. Tsimikas, too much on it. Need a left back as much as anything, to be honest. But yeah, I think if we do sign Barcola, by the way, if we do end up getting Barcola, which I think we will, now that we've got Araujo, this is what Iraola did at Bournemouth almost. At Bournemouth, he had one right back would kind of shift in and play a bit more inverted, like a third centre-back. And the other left back, which is it's nearly always been Kerkez or Truffert in his last couple of years. Truffert and Kerkez have been given a bit more licence to get forward. And I think that's what he's going to do. I think he's going to play Araujo at right back, Van Dijk, Xhaka, and Kerkez at left back. I think that's what Iraola's idea is, and that's going to mean Kerkez gets freed up on that left-hand side. He'll play much wider, much further forward, and that's probably going to mean whoever's on the left-hand side might end up playing more like an inside forward, a bit like what Barcola does and has always done at PSG. That was my big concern with Barcola, to be honest, was he doesn't really play like an Iraola winger. But if we actually are going to sign a right back, then that changes how Kerkez will play. And if Kerkez is changing how he's going to play, then that changes how Barcola will play. So that makes sense. It's going to be like a domino effect. Aaron says Barcola is all pace, end product is awful. I mean, he was PSG's top scorer in Ligue 1 last season, mate. I'm not sure I would say his end product is awful. He's no more or less clinical, I would say, than many other wingers out there. He's probably less clinical than, say, someone like Mo Salah. But Mo Salah was never the most clinical. Mo Salah couldn't finish. I had that argument back in the day. I still think Salah wasn't the best finisher. But he scored plenty. So, yeah, I won't hold that against a young lad like Barcola. I don't think his end product is awful. That's you being a little bit overly dramatic, if you're being brutally honest with yourself. He might be maybe mid. He might be average at best. Wonder if you had Iraola in earlier, would you have got Senesi on a free? I mean, that would have made a lot of sense. Yeah. Yeah, Senesi. I mean, to be honest, was that deal already done when we announced Iraola? Here's Isaac. Good football. Good football. Must be this time. Oh, behind everyone. Unlucky. Really good play. Here's Wirtz. Edge of the box. Liverpool playing some good stuff here. Soberslai out to the right-hand side. Good ball. And it's straight through to the keeper. Unlucky. Key, is there a chance Araujo starts against Newcastle? Well, he's very fit. He is very, very fit. He was top of the Barcelona training sessions in terms of they did a bleep test and stuff in pre-season. He was like well ahead of everyone. So yeah, Araujo's like raring to go, to be honest. Oh, good ball in. Isaac, good play, well done. Excellent play from a centre forward there. Pulls the ball back. Vert strike! Good save from the keeper. Very good play from Liverpool. And Frimpong with another follow-up. Well done. Aaron says 11 goals is a mere return in League One. For a winger? For a winger? I don't think it is. It would maybe be for a centre forward, but if you're a left winger, top scorer in League One's all right, isn't it? He's played more times for. That's the ultimate litmus test, isn't it? The ultimate litmus test is that right now people would say, if you had to name who's the best manager in Europe, it's Luis Enrique, right? Best manager, maybe in football, right now, available is Luis Enrique. Well, not available, but you know what I mean. The best manager in football right now, many would say Luis Enrique. Some would disagree, many would say Luis Enrique. Which player has Luis Enrique picked more than any other player over the last 2 years when PSG have had their most successful period? Bradley Barcola. So we're talking about the player that he trusts. The best manager in football trusts more than anyone else. Bradley Barcola. Can't be that bad. Joe, Key, I've sent you another one of my designs. Sorry if it seems like I'll nagging. I'll stop sending. Another one, Joe. Jesus Christ. I'm only messing, mate. No, mate, keep sending them. It's good. Yeah, no, I appreciate it. It's good. Isaac. Oh, unlucky. Oh, and he's gone down holding his foot. Get up. That was Gakpo anyway. You can stay that now, mate. No, I'm only playing, Joe. Yeah, please do keep sending them through, mate. I enjoy looking at them. I'm very honoured that you send them through to me. I appreciate getting to take a look at him. Good pass. Who was that who played it through? Gravenberg. Well done. Gakpo shanks it wide. Unlucky. Geordie says, why do they want to let him go, though? Is it not more the others have had more injuries? No, not at all. I think it was... It wasn't Nioni, Jimmy. Nioni's on the bench. It was Gravenberg. Yeah, the PSG want to let him go. Well, they don't want to let him go. They're trying to get him to sign a new contract. But the reason they are letting him go is because he's only got 2 years left on his contract. He has refused to sign a new deal. He wants to go and get regular minutes, regular starts elsewhere. I think he knows, and I think, to be fair, this isn't a knock on Bradley Barcola, but he's competing with Kvisha Kvaratskhelia. Now, however good do you think Bradley Barcola is, and I think he would be maybe top 5 left wingers in Europe at the minute. I think that's a reasonable thing to say. Top 5 left wingers in Europe, Bradley Barcola's probably in there. I'd say Kvaratskhelia is number 1. If we are doing rank your left wingers in Europe, Bradley Barcola would be somewhere around the top 5. Kvaratskhelia would be number 1, categorically. That isn't necessarily a huge knock on Barcola to say, you're competing with number 1 there, so they're not going to pick anyone else. I think Barcola's on a similar level to Sterling in his prime at City. Well, hey, listen, if that is indeed what happens, then I can take that. City got a very good player in Raheem Sterling, didn't they? Barry says, how can I watch this live in South Africa? I mean, short of actually just paying for it, Barry, I haven't got an answer for you, mate. I'm an educated man. I know a fair bit about some things and not a lot about others, but I can't speak very intelligently about South African TV channels. I'm still learning that one. I'm still rehearsing and researching. Yes, that's a very good idea, Joe. Yes, please do that. That'll be a great news. Kvara, number 1, Doku's in there, Vinny, and Mbappe if he counts. I mean, yeah, you'd say maybe Vinny, Doku, Kvaratskhelia would be in there. I would say Barcola's better than Doku. Northville says Vinny, Kvara, Leao. Leao's better than Barcola. Come on, mate. Come on. Leao's not better than Barcola. Leao can't get a move. Leao's been desperate for a move all summer. There's only Fenerbahce interested in him. James, are you watching Shelbourne St. Pat's at 5? I'm not, mate, no. No, I'm watching this game till, that'll be 3:15, 3:30. But this will be finished about 4:30-ish maybe. 4:15, 4:30. Here's Alisson. Knocks it over the top. Liverpool probably going to be a little bit more vertical is the word a lot of people are using to describe Iraola's style of play. All that really means in practice, in theory, is that the wingers get the ball faster in an Iraola system than they do in maybe any other system, a Guardiola system, a Maresca system. Good ball! Oh, lucky! Great effort. It was a great ball in, and it was Cody Gakpo far side again. Gakpo offside, but I tell you what, it's all Cody Gakpo. Whatever you think of him, he's had 2 big chances in the opening 12 minutes. Cody Gakpo driving Liverpool forward. Great ball down to the right-hand side. Who is it who puts the cross in? I think it's Lewis Koumas, isn't it? Another one who will probably get a big move. Great play by Liverpool, that. City of Northville, few can match his carrying power, pace and ability to turn a low-value transition into a shot or a final third advantage. If we go just current form, yes, Barcola higher. Pete says, Key, not. I can't argue with evidence, mate. That's not good enough. Can you not just come at me with a wild take backed up by nothing at all? A gut feeling you've got. I can argue with that. I can't argue with evidence. Pete says, Key, not knowing about South African TV, bloody useless. Just, hey, I need to do better. Goldbridge wouldn't do that, would he? Goldbridge would have the South African TV listings, the Eritrean TV listings, Nicaraguan TV listings, all down the right-hand side. David Cake, I sure a hairdresser with Koumas. Do you really? Let's have a look at you. Let's have a look at your wig. He's doing a decent job there, David. He's all right. He must be paying a fortune. Good lad. Good lad. Quit bragging. Finners Matty Leao couldn't even start in the World Cup for Portugal. Well, he did come off the bench a couple of times, didn't he? He got a couple of goals as well, I think. Cheers, I have a lot to work. Hey, more than me, mate. I've got a little girl, so mine's a wife and a little girl. I'm absolutely outnumbered in my house. I'm below the dogs now, so my hair's falling out rapidly. Aaron Deacon, who wins the league then? Has to be Arsenal. Yeah, I don't think anyone would expect anything other than Arsenal. Arsenal have to win it. Anything else is a failure on their part. Shahid says, Key, do you agree with Liverpool's tactic of trying to lower Barcola's price? Yeah, it's a negotiation, isn't it? You have to. I mean, listen, is it really the end of the world if we wait another week or 2 weeks and maybe he misses the Newcastle game, but as a result we get him for 110 million or 100 million rather than paying 145 and we get him in 2 weeks earlier? I don't know if that's worth it. The club have to be, frugal to some extent. Good ball down the left-hand side. Here's Cody Gakpo. Driving at the fullback. It's been all Liverpool in this opening 15 minutes. Great play. Gravenberch into Isak. What a strike. What a goal. And he's onside. And what a finish. Alexander Isak. That's incredible. Liverpool in front. 15 minutes. Absolutely brilliant. One-touch football around the edge of the box. It's incredible, this one. Top finish. Yes, please. Alexander Isak. It was the one we wanted to see scoring as well. He's just lit up Anfield. Great piece of play down the left-hand side. The ball gets played in. It's a nice little, neat one-touch interplay between Gravenberch. Isak takes a touch, gets it out of his feet, smashes it bottom corner. Liverpool 1, Monaco 0. Yes, that's where you want him. That is where you want him. More of that, please, Isak. Absolutely, Matty. CJ2, Arsenal's Kepa strikes again against Dortmund. Does he really? Oh, no. Andrew Wright, never doubt Isak. Never. Never doubted his quality. Never ever doubted his quality. I always thought he was going to... I mean, I've argued all summer and people have said I'm daft. I still think he's in the top 5 centre-forwards in world football. He had a good World Cup. You know, he's... quality is never ever in doubt. It's just a case of whether or not we can keep him fit, you know. Keep him on the pitch. Good ball down the right-hand side. Monaco getting back into it. Here's Mika Beerith, former Arsenal centre-forward. Good football. Monaco in the area, and Virgil van Dijk crowds him out. Good play by Wirtz to get Liverpool out as well. And now Szoboszlai gets it away. Wirtz over the top if he wants it. Yes, please. Go on, Florian. Outpaced. Unlucky. Jordy Breaks will get 30 goals a season doing that if he stays fit. Yeah, I think he is. To be honest, if we get Wirtz and Isak singing, Haaland's not going to have a... You know, he's not going to breeze that top goal scorer. Oh, Monaco are in. Strike. Alisson tips it over. Good play. CJ2, is Araujo in the crowd at all or in the box before a medical? Well, he was on a flight this morning, wasn't he? There was a flight, a picture of him, his wife and his little girl, I think it was, on a flight coming over from Barcelona this morning. So, I mean, that will almost certainly have arrived. It was a private flight, private jet. So he'll have probably been in and around Liverpool in the last hour or two. He might well be at the ground. But then again, he might have just gone straight to the AXA, done his medical. Because listen, everyone's here, right? Everybody is here. Nobody is going to... This is almost the perfect time to kind of get him in, do the medical. Everyone's out of the AXA training academy. Or the AXA Centre, whatever you want to call it. So it's a perfect time for him to go and do his medical and get everything done, all the pictures and all that stuff. Barry, who assisted? Yeah, it was Gravenberch who drove forward. Really, really good play. Wirtz is down here. I think it just looks like a dead leg. He's all right. He's okay. Whew. So can't wait for this new season. Looking forward to it. Just a reminder, by the way, Liverpool just got a free kick. We are doing Plymouth versus Exeter tomorrow night, the Cornish derby in the Carabao Cup. I'll be live for that. That's an 8 o'clock kickoff on Monday Night Football. Tuesday, at this moment in time, I'm not 100% certain, but it looks like we will have a game on Tuesday. I'm hoping that we can get Iberia versus Larne. Larne of the Northern Irish Football League are 0-0 with Georgian side Iberia in the Europa League. That's a 5 p.m. kickoff on the 11th, Tuesday the 11th. So we'll probably be doing that one. And then it's the Super Cup, PSG versus Aston Villa on Wednesday night, 8 o'clock. Should be a good one. No Manzambi available for Villa in that one. It'd be interesting to see if Barcola's playing in that. I'm guessing since they left him out of the United game. Be interesting to see if Mbai's playing in that, actually. But yeah, Aston Villa versus PSG Wednesday night. I am there for it. Geordie Breaks, can't wait for that first game. Should be really open. Yeah, should be a cracking one. Oh, Liverpool in again. So close. Wirtz just played it a touch behind Isak there. Good football. This is the only concern for me. Liverpool have now twice, whenever the balls come forward, really well read by Alisson Becker, and the home fans appreciate that. Every time Liverpool drive forward, we seem to have so much more space. And we seem to have so much more bodies because we're breaking faster. You can see that Iraola's system of getting the ball to the wingers faster is working. But as soon as we lose it, it's very much high risk, high reward from Iraola. As soon as we lose it, we are vulnerable on the counter-attack. That is exactly where Liverpool are going to get hurt this season. And Liverpool fans need to be prepared for that, where we're on a counter-attack, we're flying forward, and then we lose it, and it's straight up the other end and in the back of the net. There's going to be a few times that happens this season, for sure. Cheers, Chesney. Good to see you. Carlos Jones, thank you for doing this watch-along. I'm currently on a flight to Florida. Nice. Good to see you, Carlos. Enjoy Florida. Beautiful part of the world. Hope you safe flight and all that. Hopefully it's... whatever your in-flight meal is, very good. It's got to be much better than down here on the old terra firma. Andy, a lot of players that have not played in the World Cup semis are not playing yet. No, I know, but I mean, Munoz is in the team today for us. A lot of the World Cup players are now starting to come back, but I don't think there's any argument. Barcola should have been in that PSG team yesterday. The fact that he wasn't tells you a lot. I think the fact that Curtis Jones isn't even in the squad today tells us a lot. Geordie Breaks, who are Chelsea drawing with? Who are Chelsea drawing with? I don't know. Who are Chelsea drawing with? Let's have a look. Johor of Malaysia they're drawing with. Delap has scored 2 penalties and then it was an own goal from Johor. Barry says, Liverpool need a strong Fabinho-type midfielder. No kidding, mate. We've been waiting for that. I actually don't think we've replaced Fabinho. And he left in, 2023? It's like 3 years. We was meant to be signing Caicedo 3 years ago. That never happened. We've just never done it since. Liverpool, good play. Wirtz! Oh, just wide of the far post. Looking very dangerous, I've got to say. Wirtz and Isak today in tandem. It's good stuff. Vass93, do you watch all football around Europe? I do, yes. Yeah. Geordie Breaks, we're getting beat. Wonder if Alonso will be able to adapt and play with a 4 at Chelsea. Well, I mean, look at it. Let's have a look at the lineups today. No, they played with a back 3 today. They played with a back 3 and Quenda and Gittins were expected to play as wing-backs. Nicholas Jackson and Delap playing at centre-forward and Esteval playing more like a number 10. Scouse P will definitely score a lot of goals, but I feel we'll concede a lot too. I think it's going to be a lot like that Brendan Rodgers 2013-14 season. Do you know, where we were just so frustrating to watch? Because we were great in many ways. Games had finished 4-3 and whatever, but I just don't think it's sustainable in this Premier League. And also, I think we'll get a lot of injuries the way we're playing it as well. Eric Dyer, captain for Monaco today, with the old mohawk. Charlie Key, would you rather Barcola for 130 or Mbai for 65? Barcola for 130. Andy Foster, you should have signed Lavia. You know, in hindsight, I don't think even Lavia would have been a smart signing. As good as, I think he's a good young player, but... oh, what a ball that is. Oh, great touch by Kumas. Back out, Gakpo's there. Good football, out to Wirtz. Back to Tsimikas. Scouse says, I definitely like the young centre-back. He's got potential. He has, yeah. Isak, great touch. It's going to be offside. City of Northfield, go and get Baleba and mould him. He's got strength in spades. Hasn't he just gone out for like 3 months? Hasn't he got like a bad injury, Baleba? Someone was saying he's... He's struggled in terms of an injury in pre-season. Vast 93, where do you think United finish this season? I would say right now, based off what I've seen, in terms of like new signings and whatever, I think Liverpool and United you could flip a coin on. Probably between 4th and 5th. Maybe even 6th. 4th, 5th and 6th. Liverpool United will be somewhere around there. I know that's not a particularly insightful prediction, but I just, at this minute in time, I don't think you can hang your hat on either and say United. So I think Liverpool have got a much better first 11 than United. Or at least I think we will do once the window's closed and once you've added Barcola at least to that. But I think their squad is probably much deeper and much better than ours. The big question mark is, 1, how does Iraola get the best out of this Liverpool squad? 2, can Carrick do it over a season? 3, can Carrick and Man United adapt to the extra maybe 15, maybe even 20 games if they go deep in all competitions that they didn't have last season? So, yeah, it's I don't think there's much between Liverpool and United this season. Geordie Breaks, I think Carrick goes by Christmas. I like him, but that squad at the minute can't handle the games. I mean, listen, it remains to be seen. Maybe they'll find a way. But United have got just as many sort of injury-prone players as us. What a driving run that is from Gravenberch. Strike. Lucky, good play. Really good play. City of Northfield, did he? I didn't see that. I mean, it could be absolute Twitter guff. Let me have a look. Yeah, there you go. Carlos Baleba's injury offers a chance to reboot his Brighton career. Yeah, he's going to be out for a while, and it means that he's not going to get the move that they were hoping for. Yeah, there you go. It's a blow, but they don't expect the injury to be a long-term problem. Apparently, it is going to be a few weeks though, and it's probably going to mean he's unlikely to be back before the start of the season. Chance! Verts! Must be! Yes! 2-0! Is it Isak again? Who's put it in? Is it Isak or Verts? I think it's Verts. Yeah! Liverpool 2-0 up. And it is Florian Verts. Go on the boys. It was as scrappy as anything. But there he is, right where you want him. The number 10 in the 6-yard box. Scrapping and fighting. Who says he's this pretty, cultured player? Pretty boy. Nah, he can scrap, he can fight. Ball's bobbling around everywhere. Yeah, it's not the prettiest. Probably the least pretty goal Liverpool have ever scored. But a good header from Gakpo and Verts 2 yards out. Might even be an Eric Dyer own goal. Either way, Isak and Verts, we're claiming it. Isak and Verts. Brady, how can't you tell the difference between Verts and Isak? Because they were both kind of in there. They both, if you look, I don't know if you've seen the goal, but Verts and Isak were both, basically their legs were kind of around the ball. So you couldn't really tell immediately who was going to be, who got the final touch. And even on the various replays, it looks like maybe Eric Dyer might have got one of the final touches. I have got a very good halftime quiz, by the way. I have got a very, very good themed halftime quiz. We always do a halftime quiz. Darren, how do you think Leeds will do this season, mate? I think Muramovic is a top signing, by the way. Trafford will be good to see how he does. I don't know. I think you'll probably be good for mid-table again. Kumas. Oh, what a turn. Lewis Kumas. Oh, lucky. Good effort. Straight at the keeper again, though. Dave McLean, they already look better, more direct. This is exactly what Verts needs. He needs to be in the box. Like I said, I think it's high risk, high reward. I think that's the big issue for Liverpool. We've looked vulnerable on the counter-attack, and better sides than Monaco would pick us apart. That's not me being Mr. Negative, by the way, before anyone says. I've been made up with how we've played. Isak and Verts have both been terrific. Gravenberch's looked a little bit better as well. You know, and Duckway's been great in pre-season. The defence today have just been vulnerable. I'll say that. In the same sort of way as we were last season, I guess. Scouser, can we read into no Maka or Jones? What do you think? Jones, yes, 100%. Curtis Jones not being in the team, there's no real reason why he shouldn't be. Alexis McAllister at least was in the World Cup final, and he hasn't played yet in pre-season, so I can understand why Alexis McAllister might still not be involved. What I can't understand, like here again, look at that. One ball through the middle, and they're basically through on goal. That can't be right. That cannot be how we play this season. That's like 2 or 3 times that's happened now. One ball from the defence. They're playing very similar to the way we are. Very vertical. Let's use the word. Vertical. Very quick. Very direct. George says, Key, we've played brilliantly and we're 2-0 down. Who, Arsenal? Yeah. It's a shame, mate. Bernard Lockwood, don't you think City will push Arsenal for the title? No. I'd like to. I hope so. But I don't think they will. No, I think Arsenal are going to take it this year again. I just don't see anyone realistically who can compete with them over the season. That said, they very nearly did a very good job of throwing it away last season. They manufactured a title race, didn't they? Where one didn't really exist. They invited City in. They had the door held open for City so politely, ever so politely. And then they just ended up winning it by the skin of their teeth. So we'll see. Maybe City can, but I personally no. I think it's going to be another Arsenal league win. Geordie Breaks would take Jones at Newcastle as Willock replacement. Curtis Jones would be a very smart signing for anyone. I actually don't think there's any issue at all in... Like, Curtis Jones is a player I like. I just think he's a bit arrogant now. When it comes to Liverpool, he seems to think he's a starter and he's really not. He's not that level. If we aspire to be competing for the league title, Curtis Jones cannot be in our team. But he could be a very, very good midfielder for someone who's trying to compete for Europe. Top 6. He would be a brilliant signing for anyone in and around those places. Whether that be a Spurs, I think he'd start for Spurs. Even with Tonali and Mateus Fernandes, I think he'd start. He's a very good player. Shahid, is Conor Bradley still injured? Key, he is, yeah. Conor Bradley is out until January. It's not looking like Conor Bradley will be back before the new year. So January for Conor Bradley. Leone, I think, will probably be October. Same with Ekatike. Ekatike might be more like November time from what I've read. Leone, I think they're saying they're hoping he'll be back in training by the first week of September. Now, obviously, there's one mega international break, isn't there, this year? It's not just... It used to be last season there was an international break September, an international break October. I'm led to believe now that's been combined into like one super international break for like 3 weeks. Here's Mika Beerith for Monaco in the area. Good defending. Kostas Tsimikas, well done. Seaside Dave, good to see you, mate. Yeah, we're watching Liverpool against Monaco in pre-season. Wirtz just gives it away. Isak and Wirtz have scored for Liverpool so far in the opening 30 minutes. Barry, I have a strong feeling Arsenal are going to win Barcola's signature. No. Barcola's not going to go to Arsenal. Seaside Dave, Arsenal have been dreadful. They weren't great against Betis the other day. I mean, it's hard to put too much stock in pre-season, right? But they weren't great against Betis the other day. I don't think that means too much, though, for the season. I'd still make them firm title favourites. What about Jackie? What's going on with him? Jackie, I think he came back. Apparently, Iraola said that he did really well in pre-season, like training sessions and stuff, and then he started to feel a little bit of pain. So discomfort, not pain, discomfort. So they've taken him back out again. So I think it's still related to his shoulder issue. Obviously, that's what happened. He had a a bad shoulder issue that required surgery just before he left Rennes. So Jacquet, I think, will probably only be back. I'd like to think he'll be back for September, but you never know. Arsenal have no Saliba. That's why Arsenal ain't running away with shit this year. We'll see. This is the perfect season for an underdog to win it. Hey, listen, this is why I think Chelsea could surprise a few. Chelsea are the one that, if I had to kind of hang my hat on it, who could surprise a few. I think Chelsea, with no European football, might just be one of those that do. Access with Adam, yes. Currently at Anfield. 2-0, he's at looking sharp. And Verts, Frimpong looks lost. I mean, Frimpong's playing in a weird position, isn't he, to be honest, in this system? He did all right. He had a couple of counter-attacks. He's looked all right. But I agree, yeah, he's not... Look how high he is. Basically past the halfway line for the fullback right now. And we've got the ball with Van Dijk. Like... Good ball over to the right. Here is Frimpong. Good play. Gets past one. Into the area. Good tackle. Unlucky. Did well. Bernard Lockwood. Spurs are my dark horses. Spurs dark horses. I think Spurs might be good for top 6, top 7. They might be good for maybe Europa or Conference League qualification. I wouldn't put it past them. Yeah, De Zerbi's done well last season. Seems to be getting a tune out of him. Apparently, I hope this isn't true. I really hope this isn't true. But I've heard from a number of Spurs fans that Kulusevski's injury is a really, really bad one. That's real concern. I hope this isn't true. Like I say, it's only noise that I've heard. Kulusevski is one of my favourite players, non-Liverpool players. He was like the Swedish De Bruyne. And bizarrely, Diogo Jota has played a game more recently in the Premier League than Dejan Kulusevski. I think Spurs have had something like 4 managers, something like that, since he's been out. But he's a wonderful player, and apparently it's a really, really bad one that they're not entirely sure that he's going to be the same player when he comes back. He's still not played for Spurs, but I'd love to see him get back in amongst it. I really would. Strike! Oh, just wide. Good effort from Kostas Tsimikas. Bernard Lockwood, I can see them being defensively solid and score a lot from their midfield. Yeah, Maddison's back, obviously. That'll be a big plus for Spurs, won't it? LG, you doing any other games today, Key? I'm not, mate. No other games today. There weren't really any others to watch tonight. I was having a look at seeing what other games we might be able to do, but no. Joe, looks like Newcastle are targeting Palhinha now. Being reported by Craig Hope and Alex Crook would be a good signing. Palhinha, I think, would maybe be better than Højbjerg. Yeah, he was good for Spurs last season. There weren't really too many other games today. Yeah. Palmeiras versus Internacional in the Brazilian Serie A. At 8 o'clock. That's probably the only one. Maybe Anderlecht versus Ral La Louvière in the Belgian Jupiler Pro League at 5:30. But other than that, none. Yeah. Yeah, no, Rangers and Hibs is still while this game's playing, so couldn't do that one. Thoughts on Araujo? Like him. Yeah, like him. I think he'd be a good signing for Liverpool. Certainly suits the Premier League more than he does La Liga. If we can get him back to the level that he was maybe 2 years ago, then he's quality signing. And at the very least, he's someone that will be reliable around the dressing room, right? Because he's a leader. He's Barca captain. Liverpool don't really have too many captains. We've got quite a youthful squad and quite an inexperienced squad. We really do need more leaders, more captains in the dressing room. 1 year he's scored for Arsenal. Might be his last goal for Arsenal. What other realistic signings would you want? If I had my way, we need a centre mid. We need a left winger, a right winger, maybe a left back. If Tsimikas is going, if there was an option to get a left back in, I'd like one. But I'm fine with Tsimikas. I quite like Tsimikas. So maybe, I think as an absolute bare minimum now, I would say we've got Araujo. That probably covers us for centre-back and right-back. We've got Barcola, I think, will come. It'd be nice if we could get him by. And then if Curtis Jones and or McAllister goes, then we definitely need a centre-mid. Callum, 35-year-old and 27-year-old at the back, stinks of 50-goal conceding season in the league for Liverpool. Yeah, but it's not just any 35-year-old, is it? It's Virgil van Dijk. I mean, Thiago Silva was astonishing for Chelsea at about 38, 39, wasn't he? Don't think it really changes all that much. If you've got Virgil van Dijk at the back at 35, he's not what he was at 30 or 29, obviously, but he's still a very, very good centre-back. He's still better than pretty much 95% of other centre-backs out there right now, even at 35. Can we sign any more non-homegrown players right now? Yeah, we can. Yeah, there's no issue with homegrown. That's all noise and nonsense. That's not a penalty, ref! That's never a penalty! Penalty to Monaco, 43rd minute. Who was it who kicks him there? That looked very, very questionable. I think it was Golovin driving into the area. Was it a penalty? I don't know. Let's see. There's not a huge amount of complaints. Golovin driving into the area. Yeah, it probably was a... Nah, was it a pen? Does he kick him? Yeah, it probably is a pen, actually. Probably is a pen, actually. Yeah. Probably is a pen. Penalty to Monaco. Here we go. Just need an experienced centre-back with speed to cover for Van Dijk. I mean, Xhake's got bags of speed and Araujo's got bags of speed. We're not short of speed now with those two. Definitely got recovery pace. Okay, here we go. Monaco 2-1. Good penalty as well. Difficult pen to save that. Golovin, who was fouled, is the one who gets up to take it. It's Liverpool 2, Monaco 1. My 3-1 prediction's still on. It's still on. Good pen, that. No keepers saving that. Yeah, good pen. Jam Tarts are winning 2-0 against Dundee United. Go on, the Jambos. Odegaard hoofed off at half-time for Wanyeri. Not good. I bet Van Dijk gave it away. It was Van Dijk, yeah. It was Van Dijk who gave it away. To be honest, it was a questionable one. I don't know if it would have been a penalty in the Premier League. Soft one. And again, it's his first game back as well, to be honest. This is his first pre-season game. So I'll let him off for being a bit rusty. He's had a decent game so far. Ball down the right-hand side. Solis is looking like some player, by the way. Solis! Solis! There's only one reason you've signed Solis, and it ain't because how he plays football, mate. It's how he takes set pieces. That's the only reason Arsenal have signed Solis. We need Konza. We're not getting Konza. Why would we sign Konza? Konza, honestly, fucking idiots. Konza. We're not getting Konza. Why on earth would we sign Ezri Konza? That makes 0 sense. 0 sense. Villa would cost a fortune for one, and it doesn't make any sense for us because he's not going to start over Van Dijk. He isn't going to start over Xhake. He blocks. Oh, Van Dijk nearly makes it 3-1. He's not going to start over Van Dijk. He's not going to start over Xhake. He won't start over Leone when he's fit. And he won't start over Araujo now either when he's fit. Konza's a silly signing. Very silly. Spence and Wharton, mate. Put FIFA down. Put FIFA away. Put FIFA away. We need Konza, Barcola, and buy Spence and Wharton. If you all right, well, here's the deal, right? Here's the deal. If you sign Wharton, you have to sell Trey Naoni. That's the whole bit right there. Half-time. Here we go. Half-time. Liverpool 2, Monaco 1. Time for our half-time quiz. And the quiz is... let me just put it up on the screen. Hang on. Not your screen. You won't see it if you're on TikTok. Sorry. You'll have to go over to the other place to see it. Spence is linked, says Fabrizio. Yeah, Fabrizio says a lot of things. Okay, halftime quiz. The halftime quiz is the A to Z of French players with the most appearances in the Premier League. Can you name for me, given what Liverpool are playing Monaco today, the A to Z of French players who have played in the Premier League with the most appearances? So we're looking for the most appearances for French players in the Premier League, surname only. Can you name them for me? Ali Adieu, not Petit, not Paul Pogba, no. Petit and Pogba are not the P's. Or the P. There's only one P. Dara says Canate. No, it's not Canate. Henry is correct. Yes, Thierry Henry is H. No Frenchman with a surname starting H has appeared more times than Thierry Henry. Zidane never played in the Premier League, mate. No, funnily enough. Not Cabaye, not Digne. No. Anelka is correct. Well done, Pete. Yes, Nicholas Anelka is A. What about B, C, D? You know the alphabet. Come on. Anelka and Henry are the only ones you've got so far. There is no J and there is no Z, so there's only 24 answers here. Not Desailly, Hiller. No, not Desailly. Cole. Which Cole are you talking about? I don't know a French Cole. Lloris. Yes, Hugo Lloris is L. Good shout. Kante for K. No, not Kante for K. There is another K with more appearances than Kante. Not Ekatike and not Truffert. No. Truffert only came last season, of course. Not Cantona. No, Distan is right. Yes, Sylvain Distan is D. Govou never played in the Premier League. Giroud. No, not Giroud. There is another G with more appearances than Olivier Giroud. Not Cabaye. Hazard is Belgian, Dylan. Koscielny, Reese. Yes. Laurent Koscielny is the most appeared French K. Gallas. Yes, Gallas is the G. The G. Essien is Ghanaian, mate. Keep them coming. We've got Anelka, Distan, Gallas, Henry, Koscielny. So far, they're the only ones. Oh, and Lloris, sorry. Lloris are the only ones you've got. So you've still got quite a lot more to get. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you've got 18 more answers left to get. Not Barthez, not Saliba. Vieira is right. Vieira is V. Malbranc is M. Yes, good shout, Andy. Well done. Not Djorkaeff, not Saliba, and not Nasri. No. Not Makaleli either. No. Malbranc is M. Clichy is right. Yes, Gail Clichy is C. So you've got A, C, D, G, H, K, L, M, and V. You've got all them. Keep them coming. You've still got B, E, F, I. I's a tough one. N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, W, Y, and Z. Evra, yes. Patrice Evra is correct for E. Not Louis Sahar. Sylvain Distan you've already got. Clichy you've already got. Robert Pires. Yeah, Pires is P. Pires, more Premier League appearances than Paul Pogba. So even though Pogba's got 2 P's, doesn't count. Pires has more appearances. Wiltord, yes, Sylvan Wiltord for W. Well Googled. Good answers. Any for Y and Z? There's one. Let me have a look at how many there's actually still playing right now. I think there's only one who's still in the Premier League. Yeah, there's only one that's still in the Premier League. And Zogbia is right. And Zogbia is N. Sissoko. Yes, Moussa Sissoko is S. Come on, think of a Frenchman with the most appearances who played in the Premier League with a surname O. Surname starting O. Or surname starting F. Or surname starting B. Not Obertan, no. Not Melier, no. Melier, a lot less appearances than Steed Malbranc. Flamini, yes, Mathieu Flamini is F. Well done. Not Lacazette, it was Lloris for L. Not Cantona. We need B, I, O, Q, R, T, U, Y, and Z. They are the only ones left. Not Ozil. No, Ozil, famously German. This is basically the Arsenal team. It is actually. We've got Viltord, Vieira, Pires, Koscielny, Henry, Flamini, Clichy, and Nelka. There's loads of Arsenal players. In fact, there's quite a few more still to go, I think, actually. There's at least... No, there's not another Arsenal player in there. Frank Cadrew, well done. Frank Cadrew is the Q. Elise, well done, Barry. Yes, Michael Elise is O. What about Y? Z, yes, Z is Zuma. There you go. Hide your cats. Kurt Zuma is Z. Tarapt, no, Tarapt is Moroccan. And yeah, he's not. He might be. But there's not. There is a T. There is a T with more appearances. Not Varane. No, Vieira was V. Borough legend. Love Frankie Cadrew. Yeah. Thought his name was Cat Kicker, not Zuma. Not Odeber and not Mateta. No, Malbranc is there. Elise is. He's got more than him. So we need Y. We need a French player. French player with the most appearances in the Premier League. Surname starting with Y. Surname starting with U. Surname starting with T. Surname starting with R. Surname starting with I. And surname starting with B. You've got 6 left to get. Is there a goalkeeper? No, there isn't a goalkeeper. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 defenders, 1 midfielder, 1 striker. Loic Remy, good shout, yes. Loic Remy has the most appearances of any player, French player, with a surname starting R. Not Baleba, no, Baleba's Cameroonian. B, I'll give you a clue. B was a Newcastle fullback. I think he was he a left back or a right back? He was a fullback anyway. Can't remember what side of the defence he played on, but he was a fullback, a French Newcastle fullback. There's one who's currently in the Premier League as well. Olivier Bernard, there you go. Guilty Spark got him. Yeah, Olivier Bernard is B. Not Luca Dean, no. There's only... I'll give you I, right? I is very difficult. There's only been one Frenchman in the entire history of the Premier League who's played with the surname I, and it was former West Brom manager Valérien Ismaël, who obviously had a spell at Barnsley, I think it was, when Barnsley were in the Premier League in the late 90s. He had a very brief spell. He is the only Frenchman with a surname starting I to play in the Prem. So there you go. I apologise. Valérien Ismaël is the only one that you could say. Hand on heart, he's in there. So Valérien Ismaël, I will give you. There's 3 left to get. T, U, and Y. T, U, and Y. The T has just got relegated. The T has just got relegated. The U has just got relegated. And the Y is currently an active Premier League player. There you go. Lenny Yoro, got him. Lenny Yoro is the Y. Yeah, you'd have been here till Christmas to get Ishmael. Agreed. Yeah, Ugachukwu is the U. Correct. There's one more left to get for T. Not Torvan. No. West Ham. There you go. Jean-Claire Todibo. Jean-Claire Todibo is the most appeared Frenchman. Surname starting T. So, there you go. A to Z of the most appeared Frenchman in the Premier League by their surname. A is Anelka. B is Olivier Bernard. C, Gaël Clichy. D, Sylvain Distin. E, Patrice Evra. F, Mathieu Flamini, who's now a billionaire. Invested his money wisely in chemicals or pharmaceuticals, whatever it was that he does now. G is Gallas, H is Henri, I is Ishmael. There is no Frenchman ever played in the Premier League with a surname starting J. K is Koscielny, L is Lloris, M is Malbranc, N is Nzogbia, O for Michael Elise, P for Robert Perez, Q for Frank Cadrew, R for Loic Remy, S for Moussa Sissoko. I nearly said Momo Sissoko. Moussa Sissoko is S. T is Jean-Claire Todibo. U is Leslie Ugachukwu, who just got relegated with Burnley. V is Patrick Vieira. W, Sylvain Wiltord. And Y, Lenny Yoro. Z, Cat Kicker, Kurt Zuma. There you go. That's your half-time quiz. CJ2, nice quiz. Glad I remembered. We'll be back for the EFL version next week. You will indeed. Friday, we'll have a Blackburn Wolves themed one. So get swatting. Right. We're coming up for the second half now anyway. So we'll be focusing back on the second half. Possible Romero could be doing a Sol Campbell. What about Jackie? Yeah, hey, Jackie will be, won't he? He'll soon be. Jackie, forgot about that. He will be. He will be. When he makes one appearance, he will be immediately in that list. He's got an achievement already. Reece Crownshaw, possible Romero could be doing a Sol Campbell. That'd upset quite a few Spurs fans, wouldn't it? I bet that's what United fans say about Euro. Why? Yeah, 60 million quid. It's a lot of money in it. Tude State can't see Arsenal chasing Romero over Konza. I think Romero will be a lot cheaper. And I think he's better. I mean, Romero for me Romero is a top centre half, isn't he? The only reason that Romero maybe hasn't attracted a big club, I think he's a bit of a head case, isn't he? But I think in the right environment, he could be a really top centre. He's got all the attributes, hasn't he? I think as a backup to Gabriel Saliba, Romero's a very good, astute signing from Mikel Arteta. He's a winner. If you've got Romero and Bruno Guimaraes added to that dressing room, that's a very imposing dressing room that to walk into. There's a lot of winners in there. Andy, half-time quiz next week. Name Blackburn's Premier League winning squad. Hey, we've done something like that before. That'd be a tough one. Couldn't be a Robin to Gabriel's Batman at the back. Okay, second half about to kick off at Anfield. Liverpool making lots and lots of changes. You can already see the subs queuing up. I hope we see Victor Munoz in this second half. Dying to see him play. Really looking forward to him. Bernard, I love it when United fans say anything about Liverpool's expensive signings. Pogba, Anthony, Mount, Euro, Lukaku. Yeah. Angel Di Maria. What's the score in that game? In this one, it's 2-1 to Liverpool. Aaron surprised Bowen stayed at West Ham. Not really. I mean, how it's an Isak goal. It's not even a Wirtz goal. I said it was. It's an Isak goal. It's an Alexander Isak goal. Isak's got 2. Yeah, Isak's got 2 pre-season now. That's good. Yeah, I'm not that surprised Bowen stayed at West Ham. How much money do you think West Ham would have asked for him to leave? How much is Jared Bowen worth? And then ask another question, how much is Jared Bowen worth to West Ham? If he gets them back up, how much is he worth? So that's the reason he stayed, right? See, Adam, you think 35 mil. I wouldn't disagree with you. Maybe he's worth that on the market. But, like, what's he worth to West Ham? Like, what would it be? What would it take to convince West Ham to sell? It ain't 35 mil, is it? It ain't 35 mil. So for West Ham to feel that they've got a reasonable offer, bearing in mind where they are and how important Bowen is to them, I don't think they're selling for any less than 70. And I just don't think there's a market for a 29-year-old Jared Bowen at 70 million. And that's why he stayed. He's looked at it and gone, unless I really come out and like kick up a fuss and put a transfer request in and kind of tarnish my whole legacy and reputation with West Ham, which he isn't willing to do, he's just looked at it and gone, do you know what? I'll give it a year. If we come straight back up, that's why he's signed a new contract, hasn't he? He signed a new contract, and in that new contract, it says he can leave next summer if they don't come back up. So next summer, he might have said, right, I'll sign a new contract, I'll stay. But if you guys don't come up, I am going next summer for a very, very reasonable fee, and it might be like 30 million. Because I think there would be a market next season for Jared Bowen at 30 million. Liverpool would take him next summer, because he'd still only be 30, wouldn't he? Three-star Romero for Forest. They say there's only room for one head case at our club, and our owner will make sure it won't be Romero. Okay, right. There have been some changes at half-time in this one. We'll go through them now. Mamadashvili has come on to replace Alisson Becker. Endo has also come on for Ifeanyi and Duckworth, so he's now at centre-back. And Vanderson is on to replace... Sorry, Vanderson's gone off to be replaced by Jordan Teze, who... Jordan Teze's one to watch. He could be one that's been... Well, he's been linked with a few teams, hasn't he? He's gone from PSV. He's been linked with a few Premier League teams. I think Brentford were having a little look at him at one point. Bernard Lockwood, what's the agreed fee though? I mean, I don't know. I'm just speculating, but I guess what I'm saying is whatever the fee is now, it will be a lot less next summer if West Ham don't come back up, because he has that. The fact that he's built that agreement into it means he must have asked for it, right? West Ham aren't going to put that in unless it's been asked for. So the fact that Jared Bowen has said, I want to leave next summer. I can take 1 year out of the Premier League, but I can't take 2. So he still has ambitions to maybe be part of that Euro squad for England, and he knows he'll only get in that if he's playing Premier League football. So he'll be saying to West Ham, listen, I'm fine having 1 year out the Prem. Can't have 2. So next year, whatever the prices you have in mind for me this year, it needs to be like half for next year. If you don't come back up. That's the penalty for you not coming back up. I'll stay. But if you don't come back up, that's me done. I'm going. And I think that's entirely reasonable. I think West Ham have looked at it and gone, fair enough. Andy says West Ham have made some smart signings. They've signed Veltman. They're signing Manor Solomon as well. Yeah, Manor Solomon will be a good signing for West Ham in the Championship. Did well for Leeds, didn't he? And Disasi as well. I mean, Disasi won't be a bad signing for him. I think West Ham come back up at a canter, to be fair. Yeah, West Ham I don't think will have any problems at all. I think West Ham and maybe Wolves as well. I don't see Burnley coming back up. Sorry, Reese, if you're watching. I don't see Burnley coming back up. I think it's going to be West Ham and Wolves, and then probably you can pick from any 3 or 4. You know, you could look at Middlesbrough, you could look at Wrexham, you could look at Derby. Unlucky, could play. And Millwall, Middlesbrough, Wrexham, Derby maybe would be my My 4 worth looking at. Norwich as well. Norwich I really like. Maybe Norwich, actually. That might be my dark horse. FL, have you done EFL Fantasy? Yes, I have, yeah. It's, you can sign up to join our league if you wish to do so. Just need to go and click the link in the description. You can go and find it over on Schmoob. You can go and join the Matchday Tavern League. We're going to get an award for the end of the season. Whoever wins the Matchday Tavern FPL League. I'm almost certain it won't be me, by the way. I'm garbage at it. I always forget my team to change my team. Frimpong, good play. Back to Alexander Isak. And all the way back. Good football, that. Billy, I appreciate the confidence, but I don't see us doing as well this season. Yeah, Southampton I'm not too sure about, to be honest. Shea Charles leaving Southampton for Fulham. That was one of the reasons why. I saw that just before we came on. Yeah, Shea Charles, 30 million quid to Fulham. It's a big move, that, isn't it? He's a very tidy player. Obviously scored against Arsenal, didn't he, to knock Arsenal out the cup. Bernard Lockwood, he's about 26. Who? Cantwell. Oh, he's joking, mate. He's winding you up. Todd Cantwell's not going to Liverpool. Andy, a Premier League jersey for the winner. I mean, I wouldn't be against that, but I'm going to get a specific like Matchday Tavern award. The Golden Tankard. Millwall, mate. Millwall. I still do. I still think Millwall will come up, you know. I'd like to see Millwall this year. You weren't great against QPR yesterday, but I still think you'll be there or thereabouts. $51 minutes on the clock. Monaco are a little bit more in control in this second half, a little bit more possession. Finners Matty, does that mean Rodrigo Muniz is leaving Fulham and then the 2 strikers, Garcia and Charles? No, Shea Charles is not a centre forward, mate. Shea Charles has played more of a... If anything, he was quite deep for Southampton last year, wasn't he, Shea Charles? He's certainly not a centre forward. Yeah, no, he plays more like a... He has played as a 10 maybe sometimes, but more often than not, he's deeper than that. So Shea Charles will be part of that Fulham midfield. I don't think Rodrigo Muniz... That wouldn't necessarily change his position at Fulham. Adam, Mama needs to sort out playing with his feet. He's a little bit ropey. Well, it should have been 6 minutes, Adam. Give him a chance. I don't think he is that kind of keeper anyway, to be honest. Maybe that's why. There was rumours about us moving him on, wasn't there? I think he's a wonderful goalkeeper, a wonderful shot stopper, but he's maybe a bit more Donnarumma. There was obviously noise about City trying to move Donnarumma on, wasn't there, as well? As good as he is, you need to be a bit more... Oh, what play that is. Go on, Isak. Tell you what, it was a claim for a penalty there. Good play from Liverpool. Really, really good play. Isak's on for a hat-trick. Pete Green, all that Millwall shootout was garbage yesterday. Yeah, it wasn't fantastic, was it? It was really poor. Really, really poor. CEPR, Andre Arshavin, 4 goals against Liverpool. Yeah, it was about 16... Well, it wasn't even 16 years ago. It was more like 18 years ago, that, wasn't it? Billy says, I swear I'd never heard of Solis until Arsenal signed him. Played for Norwich a few years ago. He was garbage then. great shot stopper. We need a ball-playing goalkeeper. It fits our narrative. I mean, yeah, we need someone who's able to come off the line and really comfortable. Yeah, a bit more of a sweeper keeper. And there's not many of them about, to be honest. We might maybe need to go and get someone like... who's the young lad who was at Toulouse? He does quite well coming off his line. Good ball forward. Wirtz is in. Oh, unlucky all the way back to the goalkeeper. Yeah, there's to be honest, there's a lot of great shot stoppers. But not a huge amount of like top quality sweeper keepers nowadays. Restes. Restes is the one I was going to say. Restes is not a bad shout. Maybe even Robin Risser. Robin Risser's another one from Liga who did really well last season. He might be worth a look. Joe Bellingham is an absolute rat bag. Why is that? Which one was worse, Rochdale or Tranmere versus or QPR Millwall? I would say Rochdale or Tranmere. Rochdale Tranmere penalties were worse. Because at least QPR Millwall, they got a lot of them on target. Rochdale Tranmere, they were just pinging them everywhere. Mamanashvili knocks it long. Oh, Monaco have equalised. Mika Beerif, that's been coming. Oh, it's a good finish. Very good finish. It's 2-2. 2-2. Thanks, Key. That DH guy was getting on my nerves. Oh, mate, he's a little tid. I'm not going to say what I was going to say, but yeah. Let him have his little moments. Two, Liverpool already starting to throw it away. This was always the worry. That we were gonna do this. We was always gonna leave opportunities on the counter-attack. I've said this is the big thing with Iraola. High risk, high reward. Yes, we've looked better going forward. But defensively, we've just been all over the place. Yet again, it's the same sort of problem for Liverpool. And it's going to be a question that persists into the new season unless we get a proper number 6 and a proper... I mean, to be fair, Van Dijk's... We've not got Kirkers out there. We've not got our starting goalkeeper. We've not got a proper centre-back alongside Van Dijk. We've got Wataru Endo. And we've not got our first choice right back now either. So it's still a patched up defence, but, you know, this is a pattern now, isn't it? This is a pattern. It happened against Leeds as well. David, who's in defence today? So right now, it's Endo, Van Dijk, Tsimikas, Frimpong. Bradley, they've got Eric Dyer in their team, mate. No, I know, but Eric Dyer isn't in the attack for Monaco, is it? It's the point. They've still got probably the best attack out there in Mika Beerith. Munoz and Rio on now. Yeah, there's quite a few changes coming here for Liverpool. Rio's one of them. Nioni another. Van Dijk's coming off. The worry is you've still got the regulars out. No, I mean, listen, we've got Van Dijk, but he's the only one out of all of the regulars at the back that you would say is, the one that's going to start. Like, that's... Isak's played well up front. He's got 2. Wirtz has played really well. I think Gakpo's had a good game. I just wonder whether or not this might be Cody Gakpo's last game for Liverpool. There's no sort of applause going off or anything like that, but muted departure from Cody Gakpo. McConnell's come on now. 6 subs, so Chambers comes in for Van Dijk. That's not going to make things any easier. There's Victor Munoz, Trainee Yoni, Rio Engamoa. The 3 very talented young lads. I mean, Luke Chambers scored the other day, didn't he, against Leeds? And McConnell, I really like, by the way. McConnell spent a big part of last season out on loan at Ajax. He didn't end up playing a huge amount of games, James McConnell, for Ajax. I think he only played 3 or 4, but he's a very, very talented player. Yeah, good lad. Like him. David, why would they risk him in a friendly if he was on his way out? I mean, I don't think he's never had an injury issue. He's never, ever had injury issues. Curtis Jones was left out today, and maybe it's a lot closer with Curtis to Spurs or Inter or wherever than it is Gakpo to Spurs or wherever. So, yeah, maybe it's just that. Maybe it's more that that deal's closer than the other one. There's still maybe a chance that Gakpo stays, but I think Curtis will go. Any update on Jayden Danns? Again, Jayden Danns hasn't yet started a game for Liverpool under 21s. Jesus Christ, is that Victor Munoz? Tell me that's not Victor Munoz. Who's that playing up front for us? Who's playing up front for us? Who's just got the ball and passed it straight out of play? Tell me that's not Victor Munoz. Oh, that's absolutely grim if that was Victor Munoz. I don't think it was. I need to see who that was. Who's gone up to centre forward for us? It's number... It's not Calvin Ramsey. Who's just come on? Who's just come on and gone centre forward for us? Whoever that was has just got the ball. They've just come off. It's one of the new subs. I'm hoping it's not Victor Munoz, because that's not a good sign. He's wearing something number 7 on his back. It's not Rio. Oh, no, he could just be trying a bit too hard, him. I like Victor Munoz a lot, but that's not a good sign. I don't want to knock the lad too quickly, but Kumas is up top for us, lad. Is he still on the pitch, Kumas? I thought he'd come off. Oh, it is Kumas. Thank God for that. Fucking hell. Kumas won't be a Liverpool player this season, but my goodness me, that was terrible. That was terrible what I just witnessed then. I was like, Jesus, please don't let that be Victor Munoz. Rio, good ball in. Pulled back. And good defending from Monaco. And it's Cabral who's just gone down. Free kick to Monaco. Bernard says, won't Gakpo going depend on the Barcola signing? No, I don't think so. I think the Gakpo departure depends on the Mbai signing. I think we need Barcola with or without Gakpo going. We've lost Mo Salah. There's got to be a replacement for Mo Salah. Yeah. We've got Chiesa looks like he's going to go. I think it's pretty obvious that Chiesa isn't going to be a Liverpool player. Mo Salah's already gone. So that's 2 wingers that were down. We're already a centre forward down because Ekatiki's probably not going to be back till Christmas. And Gakpo's needed at centre forward. So in many ways, we're 3 wingers down. Now, we've added Victor Munoz. We've got Rio Engamoa. If we add Barcola, fine. Then we've got 3 to cover 4 positions. Maybe Gakpo could be utilised there as well. But we need an awful lot. We do need an awful lot. Keys' heart nearly stopped thinking that was Munoz. It did. I was really starting to get that sinking feeling. Oh, is that Kumas again? Is that Kumas again? As if he's just spun round and said, "Come on, lads, it's picking up the pace." If that is Lewis Kumas, who was that? It is, isn't it? That's twice now he's done that, Lewis Kumas. Just pass the ball straight out of play. I'm talking serious, like full on. No, that wasn't him. That was James McConnell. Sorry, Lewis Kumas. You've done it once. McConnell's done it once as well. Oh, Monaco are in. And that might be a foul and a red card. No. Offside he's given. Bradley, I seen a Liverpool fan talking about you being close to breaking the homegrown player rule. Is that true? No. It's not even a remote consideration. That's some, in the nicest possible way, some dickhead trying to manufacture content. It's not even remotely a consideration for the club. If Liverpool were really that concerned about homegrown players, I mean, Calvin Ramsey is included in the 18. Calvin Ramsey ain't going to play for us this season. Chiesa is included in the 18. Somebody has took that and gone, Liverpool can't sign any more new players. We can only sign English players and homegrown players because of this mad rule I've found. It's nonsense. Because in the homegrown quota we've got, in the foreign quota we've got, is Calvin Ramsey and Federico Chiesa. The club would just deregister him. They just wouldn't even play him. They're not going to play this season. It's not even close to it. Thanks, so I thought so. Would have heard a lot more about it if it was true. It's just, yeah, it is just someone using content for content's sake. I don't think it's a factor in the type of. Look, put it this way: if it really was that much of a factor, you'd probably have heard more noise about the likes of, Adam Wharton or other homegrown English players. Jed Spence is the only one that there's been any noise about, and immediately it was. I think was it Crook? I think Crooks came out and said it's not. There's no truth in it at all. Liverpool aren't interested in Jed Spence. And also, if anything, we're looking to sell homegrown players. Curtis Jones is on about going. So, it's just not even a consideration for the club at all. Here's Rio. Good play. Left-footed strike, unlucky. Good to see Rio on that right-hand side as well. I did say we'd see more of him from that right-hand side this season. It is a distinct possibility we'll see more of that. Andy, is Van Dijk classed as homegrown now? No, mate. He only came to the Premier League when he was about 23, 24. You've got to have a certain amount of years in the Premier League before the age of 21 or 18. Yeah, Harvey Elliott too. Harvey Elliott will be going as well. Shahid, Plymouth v Exeter tomorrow. Is that a derby, key? It is, yeah. The Cornish derby. Natty, do you think Liverpool score again? I do, yes. I do. I think we will score again. Here's Munoz. Go on, lad. That's great play. Driving into the area. Pulls it back. That's what we want. That's what we want. A wide player committing the fullback. I already like what I'm seeing from Victor Munoz. I already like it. We didn't see any of that last season. Arsenal have lost 3-2. Get in there. And immediately Monaco on the counter-attack. Liverpool need to be much, much better at recovery this season when we lose the ball. Getting back into shape as quickly as possible. Sarah, Harvey won't be going. Do you think so? I wouldn't be so confident about that, Sarah. Why don't you think Harvey will be going? He's not really had a kick in pre-season, has he? Again, he's not even on the bench today. Sorry, he is on the bench. He is on the bench, but he's not come on yet. Remains to be seen. I think if he was playing a much bigger part, he would have played that part. Chelsea haven't looked great in pre-season, have they? Drew 3-3 to a Malaysian side. I mean, it was a very, very youthful Chelsea side. Sarah, because he has pace. Harvey Elliott has pace. Harvey Elliott? Are we talking about the same player? Harvey Elliott doesn't have pace. I don't think he's... I don't think he gets a kick for us this season. I really don't. I think he knows that he needs to move on. And I think his agent will be working deals to try and get a club to sign him and pay a decent fee for Liverpool. He is still a good player, but he's not one that Liverpool should be thinking about. Good ball. Monaco. What a save from Mamardashvili. Good save that. Very, very good ball in. Bradley was a bit of a mix. They had the likes of Delap, Jackson, Quenda, Esteval, Gittins, Asugo, Tosin. And he played 3 at the back as well, didn't he? Elliott to Leeds, yeah. I mean, they've just signed Harry Wilson, so I do wonder whether or not Harvey Elliott, where he would fit in. He could maybe play more of a 10, couldn't he? Yeah, he could be an option for Leeds, maybe. Billy, where does Harvey Barnes play now? Harvey Barnes is at Newcastle. Yeah. Scouser, I have more pace than Elliott and I'm a 56-year-old snail. Exclusive. Al Akli, sporting director Roy Pedro wants Edouard Mendy out of the club. The Senegalese goalkeeper is being accused of repeatedly interfering in football matters going beyond his playing role. Mendy has spoken to several team leaders about the squad's transfer needs in recent weeks, and following these discussions, a request was made to club management to strengthen the midfield. It's like a proper footy manager thing, that request. Request for more funds. Pete, Elliott is fast compared to a tortoise. And Andy, on loan a couple of years ago last season, on loan at Villa, and United released him this... Oh, yeah, Sancho. Yeah, Sancho's on a free now, isn't he? Who's better looking, Harvey Elliott or Conor Bradley? I mean, I guess it's a preference thing, isn't it? See, I'm a happily married man, so I'm not sure I could give you the solid answer on that one. But I would say, if I swung that way, I'd probably be more inclined to go with... I think I'd be maybe more inclined to go with Conor Bradley. Maybe Conor Bradley. At a push. Seems like a nice Northern Irish lad. I'm sure he seems alright. I don't know what my criteria would be if I swung that way. But hey, whatever. To each their own. Whatever butters your egg roll. Phoenix, she said Connor. Oh, you asked your missus. You don't get this on Sky Sports. You don't. But I gave you an answer. You know, I'm not avoiding the question. I did give you an answer. I think if it was down to me and I had to, if I was that way inclined, I think I'd probably prefer Bradley over Harvey Elliott. Plus, both of them are millionaires, but Conor Bradley's injured a lot more. So, you know, you'd spend a lot more time with him, wouldn't you? From a practical point of view, if he was your fella, you'd spend more time with him. Maybe go and travel a bit, see the world. Because he's got a hurty knee. Billy, what is this conversation right now? Mate, the game's flat. Someone's asking about Harvey Elliott and Conor Bradley. I don't know. I thought I'd... Very pro Northern Irish accent key. I'll work on it. Good ball. Monaco are in. Keep them out. Oh, just wide of the far post. Fucking hell, we can't be losing. Can't be losing another pre-season game. 3-star. Who's the most attractive Liverpool player? I mean, that's obvious for me. It's Alisson Becker every day of the week. Maybe Virgil. But I'd say I'd go Ali. Ali for me. Again, just, you know, in case the wife is watching, I have no interest, but Bradley, you reckon Bradley's a millionaire? Of course he's a millionaire. Of course he's a millionaire. If he's not a millionaire, then there's something wrong. He's been getting how much money Conor Bradley on? Let's have a look how much Conor Bradley's on. Conor Bradley weekly wage. It's like playing The Sims, this now. Conor Bradley's on 75 grand a week, right? So he's on £3.9 million a year. So, after tax, if he does that sensibly, he might have maybe £2.5 million. Hey, love the Swan. Thank you for that. He maybe will have £2.5 million. Something like that after tax. 2.5 million. And that's a year. That's per year. That's forgetting like all the nice goodies that he gets sent. He'll be getting sent boots. He'll be getting sent clothing brands. He'll be, you know, every time he goes back to Northern Ireland, he'll never have to play a game. He'll never have to pay for a beer. Chiesa, Harvey Elliott. Oh, Calvin Ramsey's coming on as well. Bradley, I reckon he's got a few properties as well. Yeah, probably. Every professional footballer now is a millionaire, really. Millionaire's not really that much anymore, sadly. Barry, I'm South African, was in UK for a year, stayed in Salford and made the mistake of wearing my Liverpool jersey. Let's just say I wouldn't do that again. What, you mean you might have got some bad shouts, but nothing major. I don't think you'd even walking around Salford in a Liverpool top, you wouldn't get that much. That Allison answer was quick, lad. It's because we were admiring him earlier. He's got a new, like, do you remember that Beckham? Do you remember the Beckham hairdo? Do you remember that one where he's got like the ponytail, but it like grows out? It's quite nice. Yeah. If you're partial to that kind of thing. Lisha, 75k a week would do you nice, wouldn't it, Key? You'd be astonished some of the things I'd do for 75k a week. Andy, Harvey Elliott has scored some worldies for Liverpool. He has. I don't think he scores one today, and I don't think he will be part of Liverpool coming forward. Anfield Vortex, on your date with Connor, would you prefer flowers or chocolates, Key? Oh, Monaco are in. Keep them out. Good defending. Well done. Flowers or chocolates. Fair play. I don't judge, mates. All friends here. All friends here. Bruno G got unveiled at the Emirates and they were 2-0 down half an hour later. He'll be a bad luck charm. Chiesa for Kumas, Elliott for Soberslai, Ramsey for Frimpong. Here's Naoni. Key, do you think Araujo plays centre-back or covers right-back until Bradley is back? It'll be really interesting. I think he'll probably play at right-back more frequently than normal. Apparently he's made something like 220-odd appearances for Barcelona, and he's made only about 20 at right-back. 220 of them have been, or 200 of them have been centre-back, 20 of them have been right-back. Now, the vast majority of those have come in really, really big games up against fast wingers, because that was always Barcelona's tactic. He was brilliant against Vinicius Jr. He was the one who basically quietened Vinicius Jr. down. So, Barcelona won 4 Clásicos in a row with Araujo at right-back, and Vinny didn't get a kick. So, he might be like a specialist right-back to Barcelona, but maybe to us he plays there more often. And he can play at centre-back as and when we need him. We were admiring him before. I think you'll find it was Yuki that brought up how handsome Allison was out of nowhere. Well, they just sprung him on me. The camera just pivoted very quickly, and it was a lost. I was lost in his eyes for a moment. Lisha, seeing we are advancing in a deal to sign Lewis Page. Lewis Page from Leicester. That's not a bad signing for United. Yeah. If it's the one I'm thinking of, then yeah, that is a very smart signing. Again, a little bit like, Jeremy Monga to City, Page. Yeah, he's only a young lad, isn't he? But he'd be all right for United. Do you think we sell Frimpong next season? I don't know. I want to see Frimpong when he's fully fit. And I think this is the best chance we're going to get to see him fully fit in the next few weeks. I think if he doesn't quite adapt in the first half of the season, then it might well be that he goes in January. Yeah, Lewis Page from Leicester. Yeah, that's a good signing. That if United get him, that's a very smart move. I liked him when we watched Leicester a couple of times last season. Who's the other lad who Leicester had last season? I don't know where he is now. I can't remember his name, but he was brilliant for Leicester last year. Jordan James. He's at Rennes, isn't he? Yeah, he's at Rennes. He's a Welsh international, Jordan James. He's 22. I think he might be worth a look for a few teams. He was brilliant for. He was absolutely brilliant for Leicester. Stanis Adumbo's on for Golovin. Another couple of changes for Monaco. Last 10 minutes at Anfield. Shahid, Key, would you expect Ronald Araujo to play the final pre-season friendly? Probably not. No, I guess he might do. Oh, Paris Brunner's on as well. Remember him? He was a wonder kid once upon a time. Brunner came from Dortmund. Hasn't quite kicked on. Mika Beerith's gone off for Paris Brunner, and Thilo Kehrer, formerly of West Ham, has come on to replace Eric Dyer. Apparently, Borough are looking to sign Jordan James. He'd be a great signing for them. Yeah, I was going to say a team that's competing towards the top end of the Championship, I think could really benefit from him. Maybe even a team towards the bottom end of the Premier. I'll be honest, I've just seen Coventry have just signed Gustavo Hamer from Sheffield United. Personally, I'd have rather had Jordan James. I think Jordan James is a better and more. He'll appreciate a lot more than Gustavo Hamer, won't he? I don't really rate Gustavo Hamer, to be honest. Last 10 minutes. Are we going to see a winner in this one from either side? Chiesa's now playing as centre forward for Liverpool. It's not too much. Diptato, since we were coached by Iraola, why did we concede so many goals? Because that is Iraola's system to a T. Iraola's system is high risk, high reward. That's what it's about. We'll create lots of chances, but we'll also concede quite a lot as well. So any Liverpool fans who give you we're boring, anyone who gives you that, just say to him, well, you asked for this. You asked for this. Arne Slot played a certain type of way last season, and the reason he played that way is because he knew we didn't have a defence. He couldn't trust our defence. Now Iraola's come in, and he's trying to play this cavalier, vertical, direct, high-risk, high-reward system that's going to leave us exposed, and we will concede lots and lots of goals on the counter-attack. You watch. Corner to Monaco, 83rd minute. Keep them out, Liverpool. Keep them out. It's another corner, is it? No, goal kick. Good stuff. McBusby Babes, you optimistic with Iraola, Kia? Have you got your doubts? Very much got my doubts. I like him. I don't want to be Mr. Negative, and I'm really not. I find it such a bizarre decision from the club to have even appointed him. And sacked Slot as well. I don't think we should have sacked Slot. And when we did sack Slot, I don't think Iraola was the way to go, personally. Now that we have, I really hope I'm wrong, and I really want him to succeed. But yeah, he's a little bit Brendan Rodgers in many ways he is a little bit Brendan Rodgers. Brendan Rodgers, when we got him in from Swansea, talented young manager that had just done really well, got Swansea in Europe and won the League Cup and, brought him up and done wonderful things and were playing a really good, attractive style of football. And that's exactly what he got at Liverpool. Liverpool were very entertaining under Brendan Rodgers, but incredibly soft-centred. We conceded a lot of goals, and that's exactly what you'll see, I think, with Iraola. So, And it remains to be seen as well just how adaptable he is to a team with a much, much busier schedule than Bournemouth. It's all well and good running players into the ground when they've only got 40 games a season. Start giving them 60 games a season, looks a little bit different, doesn't it? Your depth is awful, ain't it? It is, yeah, it is absolutely awful. We've got to find better ways of adapting and I just, yeah, unless we go and sign 3 or 4 new players at the end of this window, I don't personally see us doing anything major. I think maybe a 4th or 5th and competing in the cup competitions. What the pissing hell is that? Who's passed that out? Is that Harvey Elliott? Get him sold. He's absolutely shocking. Get him sold. That's fucking dreadful. Absolutely shocking. Can't tell you how bad it is. Hiller says, Rodgers never won the League Cup with Swansea. Michael Laudrup did. Was that Michael Laudrup? I stand corrected then. I've misremembered. It was the year after he left, wasn't it? He'd already joined us by that point. Yes, you're right. I apologise. You're absolutely right. Rangers 1-0 down to Hibs. Yeah, Michael Laudrup. He was a very promising young manager at one point, wasn't he? Rob Thomas, what's the score? It's Liverpool 2, Monaco 2. FTE and squad is terrible, and that's down to the owners. Yeah, but it's interesting that it's down to the owners now, isn't it? And it's not down to the manager to get the best out of this squad, which is exactly what Divies last season was saying. Apparently the manager should have got loads better. The manager should have got absolutely loads more out of this squad last season. Liverpool were champions in waiting with this squad. Give them a new manager. What's happening? Bugger all. Absolutely shocking. The squad is the problem. It's not the manager. It never was the manager. Why pre-key Wolves are never coming back to the Prem? Why? What makes you say that? I thought Wolves did all right the other night in the Carabao Cup, and it'd be interesting to see how they get on Friday against Blackburn Rovers. Fucking, this is shocking. Endo, oh my lord. Absolutely shocking. Always said the squad was short, but Slot was a massive problem. Right, well, if you put Iraola in charge of that squad last season, where do you think they finish? Because I don't think they finish any higher than 5th or 4th. I think they finish about where they did. I don't think that was a terrible, terrible season from Arne Slot last season. The football, you can argue, was probably not the best, but I don't think that squad was any better. Looking at what we've got right now, the arguments just don't seem to be consistent, do they? Every Liverpool fan who said Slot was the problem last season, now they all want 8 or 9 new players. Well, there you go. This is the squad you've got. You've changed the manager. You've got what you wanted. Title-winning manager kicked out. New guy comes in. We're still conceding shitloads. Ben says Slot's biggest issue was the disconnect from him and the supporters. I agree, and this is why I said at the start of the game, it's 3-2 Monaco. Jesus Christ. It's 3-2, and it's Paris Brunner conceding again from set pieces. Andoni Iraola literally rock bottom in the Premier League last season in terms of set pieces conceded. It's going to be a big problem for us this season as well. Counter-attacks, set pieces. Liverpool are going to be rock bottom again on set pieces. Look at the state of that. Who's marking him? Who's marking him front post? Oh my goodness me. Anyone you want. There's could have 3-headed that in. Fucking hell. Absolutely shocking. Paris Brunner puts Monaco 3-2 up. How's it going, Bryce? Good to see you, mate. Yeah, good to see you back on. Football is very nearly back. And that I thought that might have been a good thing. But the more I'm watching Liverpool in pre-season, I don't know, we're becoming specialists at throwing goals away. Throwing leads away. Now, listen, Liverpool fans will argue, oh, well, it's only pre-season. And while I will take that point, you can't keep building habits of throwing leads away. It's not good enough. If you continue to throw leads away, that's a habit and that's a pattern. That's something you'll start to develop. Whoever's on the pitch. Paris Brunner, what a run this is. Go on, lad. Oh, he goes down. That was a great run, to be fair. What a run that was. Shades of George Weah. Ben, doing anything else today, mate? I'm not, no. Thankfully, Christ, I'm all Liverpooled out today. This just took the wind out of me. Shocking that from Chambers. James Robb, United fan here. This is what friendlies are for. And again, I don't disagree with you. This is absolutely what friendlies are for in terms of finding your feet, getting players' fitness and all that. But this is a pattern now that is emerging across the last couple of fixtures, at least in pre-season. We've got Como as well before the new season starts. I'm just a little bit concerned. I think I am a little bit concerned about how we're going about it. Because forget the goals, forget the result. The result is less important. Liverpool were getting cut open in that first half. We were 2-1 up at half time, and we were getting cut open with one pass in the first half. This is repetition. This is something we've got to avoid, and we've got to be much, much better. Much, much sharper. Dylan United, manager should have stayed at Bournemouth, had a better team there. I don't disagree with you. He probably should have stayed at Bournemouth. I think Liverpool would have been much better off if he did. And it is full time. There you go. Monaco have beaten Liverpool. Liverpool 2, Monaco 3. Rio Ngamoa screaming at Calvin Ramsey as well, saying, I'm free. He wanted the ball. He didn't get it. Liverpool players having a little bit of a tiff, lovers tiff on the pitch at the end of this one. Joe Story, we've already got a win wrapped up already on the 22nd. Jesus shite. Again, mate, I wouldn't disagree with you. This is not a positive look for Liverpool in pre-season. It really isn't. It really isn't about the results. For anyone who's saying you're being dramatic, you think you're overthinking it. It's not about the result. The result is less important. It's the way we've been playing. And we are wide open. We are vulnerable on set pieces. We were against Leeds. We were again today. And we are massively vulnerable through the middle of the park on counter-attacks. We're so exposed. One pass through the middle of the park and we are done. We're open. So, yeah. Dread to think what we're going to look like against Newcastle. Hopefully, in the next couple of weeks, Araujo maybe comes in, gets up to speed. Araujo would be added to that back line. Kirkes hopefully starts. And, I don't know. Jackie's not going to be in there. Canate's gone. Leone's not going to be fit. So it might have to be Van Dijk and Araujo at centre-back. And maybe Frimpong at right-back. He didn't have the best game today. Kirkes and Frimpong at full-back does concern me. It might even be Soberslai at right-back for that game. Adam says, just chill. Jackie to come in. Leone will be available soon. Just get a proper 6 and we shall be fine. Top 4. Top 4, 5th at a push. I think we might scrape. But I agree. That is our level this season. Don't make any plans for anything higher. We will be no more than 4th or 5th this season. We are miles off it. Absolutely miles off it. We've been chasing. We've still not got the number 6 that we were going to get when we missed out on Moise Caicedo 3 years ago. We are still short of number 6. The only positive that you can take as a Liverpool fan from this game today is Wirtz and Isak. Wirtz and Isak, as a duo, were working really nicely. Gravenberch was quite good in the first half as well. And the goals, Liverpool did look much sharper around the edge of the box. But I think that comes with being a lot more reckless in attack. we threw a lot more bodies forward in attack, and the upshot of that is that we were so much more vulnerable the other way. And that's a balance that Iraola still hasn't struck. It's a balance that we still haven't struck as a team, and we need to do much better. Iraola walking off the pitch there, chatting to Isak, and quite obviously, I think he's the star of the show today. He got 2 goals, Isak. Great to see him back fit and firing. Munoz was good off the bench as well. I have to say, it was only a brief cameo, but I think Munoz off the bench showed us something we haven't got, which is running at the fullback and really getting direct, beating his man, getting into the box. That's something we've missed, and it's something that I think will play a big, big part. Rio Engamoa on the right as well today, by the way. That's a big, big sign. The fact that we've started him off the right, not off the left. Munoz and Rio on the wings. Isak through the middle. That might be the answer for Liverpool going into that Newcastle game. Ben, I think we get 4th or 5th, and that's okay. We didn't dominate at the beginning of Klopp's reign. As long as we see our play developing, we'll be sound. When we get this style right, it's simply the best. I think that might be hopium, Ben. I think that's hopium more than anything else. Guilty Spark, did you keep hold of Elliott or have you sold him? No, he played today. He came off the bench and passed the ball out to play immediately within 10 minutes of becoming on the pitch. He was shocking. So yeah, Harvey Elliott shouldn't be a Liverpool player this season. There's quite a lot of players shouldn't be at Liverpool this season, and we've learned that lesson in the last couple of days. This charming Dan, Liverpool games will be entertaining for the neutral next season. Lots of high-scoring games and, yeah, poor defending. Josh, how many goals for Isak this year? 20 plus, I think, genuinely. He scored 2 today. He looked really sharp. Clips, if Iraola fails, some Liverpool fans owe you an apology. I don't want one. I don't want an apology. I would much rather be wrong. I want to be wrong. I don't get the approach, and the approach has been backed by so many fans. It's crazy. I don't think it's right, but I hope I'm wrong. I massively hope I'm wrong. Bryce, key, where do you have my guys at United finishing? Honestly, mate, I think you're in just as much of a state as we are. I think Liverpool and United, you could flip a coin on who finishes 4th, 5th. Maybe one of us could finish 6th. It wouldn't surprise me if Chelsea or Villa finished ahead of one of us. So, at this moment in time, based off what I've seen, I don't know. I couldn't. Fingers in the drawer, I can't say. Gun to my head, who would actually finish ahead of who. But Liverpool and United, there's really not much between them. I don't think they're particularly impressive, and we're certainly not. Barry, so happy I found your platform, mate. It's the most interactive. You're doing an awesome job. Oh, Barry, that's so nice. Thanks, mate. I appreciate it. Really appreciate that. Got loads and loads of games coming up, so hopefully see you on a few of them. Ben, stop worrying. This coming season isn't supposed to be a championship winning season. Yeah, I know, but it wasn't when Slot first came in either, was it? And we turned it into one, and he immediately lost all patience. So again, I don't think, and I'm not trying to make this prediction in any hope. I hope I'm wrong, like I said, but it wouldn't surprise me the way that Liverpool, their owners, the fans have behaved. I genuinely think Iraola's. I'd be amazed if he finishes the season. I think it could be that bad. It could be that bad. We could be seeing some sort of a Roy Hodgson under Iraola if we're not careful, if we don't give him the signings that he needs and we don't adapt quickly. Couple of wrong injuries. Hope I'm wrong. Ollie Marley doing the Borough game. Doing the Borough game? What Borough game? Borough played on Friday. Clips Market, I think we're in a title race. You're not in a title race. Hey, we'll see. We'll see. The Arsenal, you're doing Arsenal Coventry live. I am, mate. Yes, I am on the 21st. We've got plenty of games before then just to run through. We've got PSG versus Villa in the Super Cup on Wednesday night. We're doing Plymouth versus Exeter, the Cornish derby in the Carabao Cup tomorrow. Rangers versus Jagiellonia on Thursday night. Rangers 2-1 down from that one. Wolves and Blackburn, the opening game of the Championship on Friday night. We're live for that one. Next weekend, we've got Arsenal, Man City in the Community Shield. And we'll see Liverpool in the next pre-season friendly against Como. We've also got Cardiff City and Wrexham next weekend. Should be good fun. And then, yeah, Premier League, 21st, Friday night football. Arsenal versus Coventry I'll be doing a live watch-along of that one. The day after is the big day where I'm debating doing 4 watch-alongs altogether. Hull versus Man United, 12:30 kickoff. We'll see. We'll see if United are title contenders. I don't think so. Hull versus Man United. Then Everton versus Palace, 3 o'clock. I'm going to do that one. Brentford Spurs, 5:30. And then 8:30, Espanyol versus Real Madrid in La Liga. So maybe I might do all of them. I don't know. I'm going to see how I feel. And then, Newcastle, Liverpool on the Sunday. Oh, dreading it. Right. Thank you, everyone. Really appreciate everyone coming in, liking, sharing, commenting, all that good stuff. If you're new around here, maybe click subscribe, click follow up here. I'll catch you all on the next one. Disappointed to see Liverpool capitulate yet again and throw away a lead, but hey, it's just pre-season, right? See you all tomorrow for the Cornish derby, Plymouth versus Exeter. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. See you soon. Ta-ra.